Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Titan Season 3, Episode 12, Prodigal. This is the penultimate episode. Dick is dead. I am stressed. I've been in denial since I watched the last episode. We have a Lazarus pit. Everything's going to be fine. Prodigal, does that mean Jason's going to be the prodigal son returning? I'm just stressed. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon and let's go.
Can you find him?
Please. No.
Paige, is there anything you can do?
The Lazarus pit!
Too late.
Lazarus pit! You literally found it today! Oh god! Why are bats everywhere he goes? Gar, you okay? Is Gar becoming the literal Batman? Fuck, I hate this Dick just lying there dead. The bats are gonna carry him to the Lazarus pit because here for that. Imagine looking out your window right now. Oh yes, my loves. How long does it take to work?
Is he gonna make it?
I don't know.
Yes, he is. There you go, I answered. You did everything you could for him, my darlings. So I'm kind of sad that I want Corey to know he's dead and worry. I'm sorry.
He's your monster. What do you want, a cookie?
He's his brother, actually.
But you said that's what you wanted.
Jason, stop trying to please other people.
Yes, they will die. Who will die?
All of them!
Wow, Jason, wake up! Imagine, this is what he's been plotting every fucking time.
I will help you destroy the city.
You literally fell for what the scarecrow, Crane, said to you, and pushed away and murdered 2 people who loved you and were trying to help you. Oh, Jason, stop the bastard. This is your home. You know this place. You can defeat him.
Running, boy.
Or you can run.
Keep running.
I'm furious with Jason for everything that he's done. For what happened with Hank, 100%. At least with that, he was fully under the control of the drug. You could try and say maybe that would cut him some slack. But he literally orchestrated the situation in which Dick was shot. He was trying to shoot him himself. He can't act like he's sorry. And then left him to bleed out while being beaten by a mob baying for his blood. Like how scared he would have been in that moment. How much pain. And like knowing he was dying, and Jason was just like, go run.
Open out the resistance cells one by one.
Heading east, right.
But there's still a tram going along.
Get everyone together, go over the plan again, and make sure everyone's.
That looked a lot like a Toronto tram to me.
Grab him.
Sorry, just got them is falling apart, but the trams are just running in the background.
Nightwing's dead.
What?
Donna. Oh
The guy had
god.
photos of his dead body and it doesn't look real to you.
The Scarecrow's weaving his web. We don't know what's real. It's real.
Donna can't accept it. There are some officers here loyal to
Sorry I'm
her.
late for our daily chat.
Oh god.
Nightwing is dead.
A dismal duel to the death between 2 beloved Bat brothers. Poetic and pathetic. You be the judge.
They're saving him.
Soon.
It's just awful because he did die alone.
You live in fear.
My darling.
Bruce Wayne, he showed you how to live with that fear. Punish it. Fear and rage.
I mean, this is his own internal self talking to himself, and I hate it.
You chose the path.
Listen to Rachel. Listen to Rachel.
He would be so disappointed in the man that you
He would be so proud of you for everything you've been through and everything you've struggled through.
Like you failed everyone. You always wanted him dead.
No, because he literally started to sacrifice himself
So you
to Slade. Dick had nothing to do with Jason's death. Holy shit, I do not like this image. I hate this because this is Dick's own self-hatred and self-loathing in his own mind attacking him. I guess this is part of like a gauntlet, 2 big old terms, you have to face in the Lazarus pit. And did Jason face something similar? Is that going to explain part of why he went so off the rails? Dick, you literally went to face Slade and were willing to sacrifice yourself to Slade. He abandoned you all.
He took your home.
None of this is true. You might have had some vague feelings like this. Because the fact that, like, you left and then, like, 2 weeks later Bruce was like, I have a new son, was a little hurtful to you, but that is a natural human response and it doesn't mean you hated Jason.
You holding a gun to his head tonight. That was as predictable as the sun rising.
But he didn't fire, did he? To be honest, Jason just got him killed. Jason killed Hank. I don't blame him for having some rage on a fictional hallucination, Jason. Is Connor awake? Or is he still out because of the kryptonite? Oh shit.
Connor.
So she does care about someone. And I suppose Dick thought he'd be back to help him.
From now on, I do what I want.
Connor, he shouldn't have done that, and I want to shake him and slap him because he shouldn't have done that to you. But I think he did it because he didn't want you to be in peril when he faced that.
I don't know what I want.
That's okay, my love. They could just run you over.
Don't ding up your ride.
I love her so much.
We can't help him anymore. He has to fight.
He will.
The agony of waiting and all his belief.
When it happens, when I start to change, it feels like I'm dying.
Oh, my love.
I know I can do more. I can.
It wasn't hate that gave me power.
I love Rachel.
Love.
She's come so
For
far.
you, for Dick. And you knew you had to join them. They found you because they knew you loved Dick Grayson.
Yes. Love
You
is
have everything you need.
the love is your power as well, my love. Dick, snap out of this! This isn't you, this is your worst subconscious, and you have a better subconscious as well. I know Jason just left you to die, but this isn't fully you, this is the dark part of you, but you have grown from this. I know, my love. That's my Dick Grayson! Oh, come on, my darling, yes! The real light!
Dad.
All that hate and anger that he doesn't know how to deal with is the result of Bruce not being a particularly good emotional parent.
I love you.
Dad will always love you. If you were truly lost to the darkness, you would not be my favourite character. Is this like his future? With Corey? Because that's the only person I want him to have children with. Oh, Dick, my love. Is he choosing the light in his soul?
Hi, Daddy.
Oh, he's got to deal with a lot of things, and he is doing it.
Time for what?
Time to change him.
To change? No. No. He works for me now.
Dick went to Slade Wilson, unarmed, to give himself up to try to save Jason. When Jason was falling off a building, Dick gave every single fibre of his being to save him, and when he fell, Dick wasn't like, ah, well, fuck that kid. He was very distraught. When Jason had blown up Hank and done all sorts of terrible stuff with you, Dick welcomed him home. Was like, you can come home. And then Corey and some of the others were like, Dick, are you sure that's a good idea? And they all went to go and... Dick has not failed Jason. Yes, he may have made a few mistakes, but I feel like everybody else failed Jason. A hell of a lot more than Dick failed Jason. And
Simple fear tree.
he just puts all the blame on himself as
Soul
well.
was mine.
Dick, darling, you are strong enough. You are good enough. Yes! He fought his way out. Is he in his street clothes as well, not his Nightwing costume? That's kind of funny. He's alive. I mean, like, I never fully was concerned that he wouldn't be. I kind of like trusted because we had the Lazarus Pit and he's like the main character. But oh, that is a relief. But also the Lazarus Pit can change your outfit. I like that.
That is very
Hot.
Look,
Is he
I am
at all concerned about Corey? Like, maybe like if Blackfire explained everything, then I'm sure like he'll understand why she took the powers or whatever. But at the same time, Corey hasn't done anything to wrong gut Connor, and she could be very much struggling having just lost her powers.
Prove it.
I don't like that Connor was so willing to kill this man.
But we need to talk.
Yes, we do. Oh. Continue to breathe, please.
You alright? What happened?
You can't do it alone anymore, okay?
There's an abandoned control room. Find Connor, make sure he's okay. Unite the Titans.
See, Dick was never going to just leave Connor there. He thought, you know, I'll go deal with Jason, then I'll come wake him up and apologise.
Did you just say Donna?
Dick, my love, you've woken up with a lot of information that they don't have. Okay, I'm very glad that you have this new pumped go get 'em attitude, but I think we still need you to learn on your communication skills.
Some Gotham bullshit.
Live to fight another day.
It's not your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents did this. They lied
To both of them.
to
They
both of us.
kept Corey from her true powers.
Can we talk?
He doesn't want you to leave. Because this is his
Why are
home.
you doing this? To hell with everyone else.
She's a bigger destiny than you, I think, my love. You have a family.
I wish I could.
So you're just like the rest of them.
Connor.
Promise one thing and then change the rules.
I meant what I said about wanting us to be together. But ever since I was a girl,
But see, it's not as simple, including to the rest of the
there's been a
Titans.
voice inside.
Titan on site, leading evacuation.
Titan on sight.
Donna. Sweetheart. You have to leave to fight another day for your family's sake.
Having some secret tech basement doesn't mean that you're ready to leap off buildings with a cape. I mean, hell, I was literally born to do this, and I still ended up training my whole life. And even with that, there's no...
Just give me a chance.
I want to give you a chance, but after this is all over, we can train you properly.
The hood is back!
Jason. You do not need that stuff. Oh, wow.
It's okay. I was in the pit. Like you, I came out alive.
Mm-hmm.
I need your help.
He still believes in you.
I'm a fucking murderer.
You want redemption? Do you? This is the first step.
Mm-hmm.
We need to go.
So, Dick, I am mildly concerned you've lost your Nightwing suit because you were wearing it when you went into the Lazarus pit and you've come out in street clothes. This is a huge step. Wouldn't go that far, but Dick's not giving up on you.
No, you'll never be a Titan again.
It's the truth.
How do I know you're not going to kill me?
Because he could have last night.
Because now I know what it's like to die.
They both died scared and alone.
No.
Just gonna do it by herself, and I'm happy
Something I'm
because it
going
means
to do
Corey
on my
stays. What just happened?
Turn it off.
Did Connor damage the ship? Oh my god. Did he intentionally destroy the ship so she couldn't leave? He is becoming more Lex Luthor-like, and I don't like it. And like, I agree that Dick kryptoniting him was not friendly, but like, a rational side of you would be able to work out that he didn't do it like to be a meanie. He did it because you were being all like, I'm bigger than you and I'm stronger than you and you can't leave without me. And so he was like, actually I can. Like, ah! All good. That works too.
Follow my lead.
Rachel and Gar, anytime now.
Your destiny arrived after all.
She's got a plan now, right? Because all she's had is time to think. Yep. There has to be, like, her right-hand lady is not going to be evil, right?
Command activate.
You told it to destroy itself. Can it come back? Think how much trust Dick is showing in you right now, Jason.
I don't get it. They're supposed to be like 200 ampules.
Crane beat them to it.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm. But you know what the plan is now. Can't say I like all these random civilians wandering into the Batcave at Bruce Wayne's house, but okay. Crane will probably kill them all.
Baby.
Okay, so we have Dark Gar coming to town. I feel like the end of the last season we got Dark Jason in this season and now we got Dark Gar Connor. I don't know why all episode I've been trying to call Connor and Gar each other's names. And I don't love it. Now, I can understand that it makes sense because Connor is technically speaking, I know emotionally speaking he's evolved, but he's still very young. Like, he's only a few years old in terms of existing and understanding himself. And we know that in his psyche, he feels like he has this perfect, wonderful, good Clark Kent and this evil, nasty, manipulating, scheming Lex Luthor. And I think to truly achieve happiness and self-fulfillment, he's going to have to find a way to meld the two and take the bits that are useful to him from each to become the person he wants to be. We obviously have to hope that he's going to want to be a bit more like Clark Kent and then a bit more like Lex Luthor. Now, I can totally understand why being afflicted with kryptonite like that by someone you trust, it's gonna hurt you. I'm not trying to like invalidate him in that sense. It's gonna make him like distrustful and just really angry. But I feel like if he stops and evaluates the situation, he'd have understood that Dick didn't do it to be mean. He did it to try and stop. I mean, Dick going forwards needs to do a lot more of this reaching out and trusting other people, but he needs to understand that Dick didn't do it to hurt him. That wasn't the sole goal. The goal was this is the only way he could think of to make sure Connor didn't go and put his life at risk in what Dick did, and it did get Dick killed. I think had Blackfire not been the one to find him, had Dick succeeded and managed to get there and wipe the stuff off his, and like help him and apologise, Connor could have yelled at him, like vented his frustrations, but I think also Dick would have been able to explain himself. Similarly, I believe had Rachel and Gar been the ones to find him, he wouldn't have had someone being like, oh yes, see, family's terrible. They would have kind of been like, well no, Dick probably did it for stupid Dick reasons, but come on, he's a dick a lot of the time. That's probably why his parents called him Richard. You know, I feel like there would have been a lot of people to try and like it's not saying his anger at Dick isn't valid, but it's kind of the levels of it was very much Blackfire deciding that all family is evil. I think Blackfire being an anti-hero-esque character herself has not been the most stabilising influence on Connor as he tries to work out who he is. We've seen a lot more of Connor's own personality coming through, but I feel like we've been seeing a lot more of Lex Luthor coming through. It's like the strains he's been under are making him lash out a lot more rather than making him kind of see the good in people, which is it's all teething problems. He can work through it, but he fully just destroyed her ship so she cannot leave. That ship looked like it was irreparable. Now, it mustn't be. There must be a way to fix it, because I kind of feel like Blackfire Commander's not going to be content now with just chilling on Earth. Especially not as Connor seemingly did it intentionally. If it had been a true honest god accident, I think she might have, you know, come to terms with it, and they could have tried to build a replica ship or whatever, and she wouldn't have hated on him. But it's the fact that he acted like he was honouring her request and then he didn't, you know. It's okay for people to choose someone else over a boyfriend they just met. And now Connor is going through a lot right now. I don't feel like right now I'm going to hate on him or disown him or anything, but I also don't want to have too much time spent with him being the evil character we have to stop or anything, because we literally had a season of that with Jason, and it would feel a bit like been there, done that if we could on the exact same path with Connor. But a little blip, and generally him going forwards, trying to struggle between his like rage and goodness and all that kind of thing, that is all a part of who he is, so I'm okay with that. I genuinely don't know where we're going to go next with that, because, you know, Commander made it very clear that her death, she's never going to be happy with who she is unless she goes right now. And yeah, if she stays, she'd be happy with him, but there would always be that part of her that would resent him because he stopped her from having the wonderful opportunity. And yeah, I think Corey and Commander have made a really, really good growth in their sisterhood, in Corey being honest with her and truthful with her and telling her everything. That was a lot. And then the fact that Commander was able to say, well, you didn't know. It wasn't your fault. Like, it was our parents. And I think Corey's a lot more at peace with how they died, in the sense that she knows it wasn't like evil, wicked sister just murdering them for no point. It was kind of a self-defense thing, and does that make it okay? Not really, but it's better than nothing. And also, Corey doesn't seem to have cared that. My parents clearly were terrible parents, because it's not like Corey cried when they died. So going forward, I do not know where we're going next with that. You know, the one tiny, like, this show I adored regardless of any relationships, as you know, but I'm still rooting for Corey and Dick. Dickory is my ship and I will go down with it. Corey we didn't even have an instant of her seeing the news and being like, Dick's dead. We saw Barbara reacting to the news that he was dead, and we didn't get to see Corey reacting to that news. I mean, I'm sorry, next episode, before she finds out he's alive again, I need her to find out he was dead, be a bit devastated, and then him immediately walk in like, hey, and her like hug him, okay? I don't even care. They don't have to be romantic. Just, we deserve this. Obviously, I am totally okay with her plotline revolving around her sister rather than like a man. That, I'm not complaining about that. But where was my moment? I need it next episode. Or I need it to find out he died and to be absolutely shocked. And like concerned that that happened, and then, like I said in the previous episode, everyone to sit him down and freaking scream at him about not taking on the battles of the world alone, which he does because of his self-hatred, and he's thinking he failed everyone, so he has to fix it all himself. And I'm very emotional about Dick Grayson. I love him. There are a lot of reasons I love him, and I just want to protect him from himself a lot of the time as well. Though I am very concerned that he no longer owns his Nightwing suit, because like I said, into that Lazarus pit in a Nightwing suit, out of that Lazarus pit in some street clothes. He's gonna have to get a new one made, isn't he? Okay, so yeah, Commander, I don't know where her story's going to go next. Is the ship repairable? Is it like, you know, it's damaged but we can fix it? Or is it like, that ship is in smithereens? It looked smithereeny to me, but maybe. I think if she as a character were to be stuck on Earth when it's not her choice, that really would, it would cause her to spiral. It would not be a good thing for her character, and it wouldn't be kind of the ending she deserved in a lot of ways. So I'm intrigued about where that's going to go. I'm also kind of worried that, like, in the next episode, I know Dick was like, assemble the Titans, and I think Rachel and Gar are going to try and track Donna down, because, I mean, they don't know it's Donna, as much as he said find Donna. Obviously the Lazarus Pit gave him some info. I feel as though I'm concerned that Corey and Connor, who's going evil, aren't going to be with the rest of them for the big fight against Crane and all that kind of thing. I want the like, we started the seasons with the Titans as a unit. They were fighting side by side, they were together, and I know Hank's death and Jason's betrayal really threw them off kilter, but I don't want the finale to not have them all together, if that makes sense. And I mean, maybe they will get contacted somehow by the others, Dick will find them or whatever, and then they will, all three of them will put down their differences to go deal with this issue. But I also don't see Commander doing that right now, and I don't know if Connor's in the right mind frame right now. And I'm just mainly like, the original Titans of this show are Dick, Gar, Rachel, and Corey. And so I want at least those four together in the finale. And like I said, that doesn't mean that Corey has to abandon the plotting with her sister, because it's so fascinating to me, and seeing Corey figure out who she is and heal that bond, heal that breach within her sister is everything to me. But it's also, this show is called Titans, and I want my core Titans to be together, and I don't want Connor to be evil. Gar and Rachel, I love them together. I'm so glad they're together. I'm so glad he was the one she found first. And that, you know, him saying that, oh, it's whenever I'm terrified, that's when I learn new things, or that's when I find things. But it's always when he's not. I mean, yeah, it does happen when he's just terrified for himself, but it happens when he's terrified for others. You know, when he managed to become a snake for the first time, there was a lot of other stuff going on that he had to do to try and help. He always manages to kind of do his best when he's doing it out of love for others. And there's that fear, often, like the fear and the pain and the horror of seeing Dick lying there dead, is only there because he loves him. If he didn't like, if he had no feelings towards Dick, it would have been, oh, that's a shame, he was kind of useful. So that whole scene with them finding him dead, that destroyed me. Even though I was like, you two, Lazarus Pit, get your move on, it still was devastating. They did it very well, because both characters were just truly devastated in that moment. And then, you know, the Lazarus Pit I know isn't a guaranteed success, but I was still like, hurry it up. And then the whole thing with Gar, kind of just, I love that he was like, I was just really scared and it happened and I thought I was dying and it was awful. But Rachel was able to kind of look into his psyche and say, well, actually, what happened was your pain and your love for Dick Grayson made you think, I'd have a way to solve this, we've got to get this going. And I think we've seen, I mean, a lot of Rachel's acceptance did happen off screen, which is kind of frustrating, but Rachel has kind of come through being terrified of her powers to fully accepting them and accepting who she is with them and what drives them. Gar is, in some ways, doesn't have as far to go in that sense, because he knows he's not evil. But I think Gar is getting there with the sense that having these powers doesn't have to be a big, terrible, scary thing. But of course, ever since he's got them, so many big, terrible and scary things have happened to him. I don't blame him for struggling with that. So I really adored their scene where they talked together. I adored how they were able to help find Dick, even if he did immediately jump out the Lazarus Pit, but like, hey guys, gotta go. Like, I mean, yeah, I made a little bit more of it. Oh, Rachel, you're alive, but I do understand that he had just been fighting for his soul and reborn. I don't want to miss anything. Crane, you know, he's a brilliant villain, but I'm looking forward to when he's defeated, let's put it that way. And then Jason. I am really glad that when Dick found him in this episode, Dick said, well, you're not going to be a Titan, because that's too much to ask, you know. He's done too much. I mean, the moment he killed Hank, he'd gone too far, but he's even then continued. It's not like he did that and then he thought, fuck, what have I done? He continued down that route. And I think it's really important that Dick was honest with him. You know, kind of in the previous episode when he was offering the chance to come home, he was kind of like, yes, everything will be normal and fine and we will accept you, which is a little much. But this is the point where Jason needs to decide who he wants to be, not under Bruce's influence, not under Dick's influence, and not under Crane's influence. Does he want to be someone that blows up a friend, that infects the city with a hallucinatory drug, that orchestrates a situation whereby his brother gets shot and then runs away and leaves him to be beaten to death while he's bleeding out? I mean, Jason needs to take a long, hard look at himself and who he wants to be. Now, I'm pretty sure we're getting a spin-off show, and to be honest, I'm still not entirely sure how I feel about that, given the, like, I really don't like Jason. I mean, I do. I'm rooting for him to find a way back to a version of himself he can live with and a version of himself he can like, but I'm also still so mad at that boy. But I'm really proud of Dick for coming through everything. I'm so proud of him for acknowledging who he wants to be and, you know, giving into the rage, but then being like, hey, wait, no, this isn't me. This isn't me. It is something I've argued since season 1 that Bruce was kind of abusive in how he raised Dick, and I don't like saying that. Bruce was not being a horrible person. Bruce thought he was doing, like, you know, I dealt with my parents' grief by throwing myself into being the bat, therefore I'm going to help. You know, I don't think he was trying to be a terrible person towards Dick. And I think in a lot of ways he gave him the home and the kind of person to depend on that he needed, but he didn't help him to deal with any of the emotional baggage. And the same with Jason, although it was very different kind of emotional baggage by then, and Jason was older. Kind of the way he just trained Dick to just, any fear you feel, you don't feel it. Any rage you feel, you take it out on others. You know, we will be like vigilantes. It's rather than kind of like heroes trying to save the day. And I think when Dick first made the Titans, he was trying to do it differently. He was trying to escape that part of him, but it all went wrong with Jericho. And we've seen him, that's something that he's been struggling with for 3 seasons, and I feel like we've watched him make progress in it every season, but then it's always really hard because it's such an intrinsic part of who he is and who he was growing up. So I love that we saw him, yeah, he kind of gave into it, but he was able to stop and say, no, this isn't who I want to be. And then he had that moment with his father where, you know, his dad just said, yeah, I love you. It's okay, you know, you've made mistakes, but who you are as a person is a good, wonderful person, and I love you. And the key thing here is, I know it was the Lazarus pit, but it was also dealing with his own insecurities and his own feelings. Dick feels about himself that he's a monster who only has rage, and, you know, that's not true. And we were able, now the bit with the little girl is really interesting to me, because obviously Dick doesn't, unless they're going to be like, oh yeah, Dick has a kid, we've just never told you about it. That was kind of showing a potential future where he could be soft and loving and caring to a child that he would raise very differently from how he was raised. And I will also say that that could definitely be his and Corey's kid. It's not likely to be him and Barbara's kid unless they adopt. But like, that was a really, really interesting choice and very emotional. And then that final moment with Crane, where Crane was like, you can't stop me, and Dick was like, fuck it, I'm fighting, I'm coming back. I absolutely loved. And the kind of the way he seemed much more energized and purposeful than we'd seen him all season. Like, he was very defeated a lot of the time this season, and he was like, no, we're going to do it. Now, obviously, they've hit a stumbling block, what with there not being the weapons, Crane beat them to it. But I think having Jason, who knows how it works, the fact that Crane is holding himself up in their home, they know that place back to front. They know any more secrets that Crane's not going to know about it. We're going to get the team together, at least half of it. I'm stressed. I say I don't know where Jason's going to go after this. I feel like to his own vigilante show, but like, how are the others going to be when they see him? What's going to happen? How is Jason going to deal with what he's done? That is a huge thing. I really am hoping that this is a sign that going forwards, Dick is going to truly accept that he doesn't just have to be his rage. He doesn't just have to be the sort of person Bruce moulded him into. He can be himself. And there will be times when he feels rage, and there will be times when he expresses it, and if he goes too far, he will make reparations for that. There will be times when all he wants to do is be soft and loving and caring, and he doesn't have to fit this impression of who his original parents wanted him to be, or who Bruce wants him to be, or who the city needs him to be. He can just be Dick Grayson, and that is enough. Nightwing can be the hero that he shapes to be whoever he needs it to be. And I really hope going forwards we're going to see him leaning on the others, being there for them. And I mean, he's always there for them if they need him, but relying on them to be there for him as well, which is a key part of his character. He takes on all of his burdens and struggles onto himself, and he has this team of people around him that want to be there for him, but he's so terrified that he will fail them, that he will get them hurt, that he just puts it all on himself, and he literally got him killed. So I really hope going forwards we get to see him continuing to grow, my family continuing to flourish. I am stressed for this finale, but it's got to be about 6 hours long to wrap everything up. But yeah, this was a fantastic episode. A reminder that you can find the unedited version on my Patreon, and thank you for watching.